Hey guys, my name is Sarah, and if you are into super easy, budget-friendly family dinner ideas, then this is a channel for you. I would certainly appreciate it if you consider subscribing, and today's dinners are all from the Budget Bytes blog, so I will have all of her info linked down below. I'm not going to give exact measurements because I don't want to take that from her, but anyway, let's get started. First, I'm going to be making some awesome quesadillas that my entire family loved, and they are so easy and cheap. First, you're going to start by draining two cannellini beans, two cans of cannellini beans. And then you're going to chop up your spinach pretty finely, and you're going to grate your pepper jack cheese, and you're going to throw both of those in a bowl together. Once you are finished draining your beans, you're going to toss them into a separate bowl and mix all the spices in with it and just let them sit for a few minutes. And then you're going to combine everything together. Well, before you throw those beans into that bowl with the cheese and spinach, you're going to toss in about a cup or so of sour cream as well and mix that up, and then throw the beans in. And at this point, you're going to have a skillet or griddle, whatever you use for quesadillas, warming up, and either, spritz with oil, butter, however you want to do it. I just sprayed mine with a little bit of spray or oil spray, that stuff, you know what I'm talking about. And then I filled up a tortilla halfway, folded it in half, and then I also spritzed the top of them, so when I flipped them, of course, they would crisp up and everything too, and fit about 4 at a time, and probably maybe about 4 or 5 minutes or so, just kind of peek. But whenever it's kind of brown on the other side, you're going to flip them and they are ready. And on the side, I've got, as you can see here, some Ramekins, and I'm putting some salsa in it. This is actually the Bloody Mary salsa from Trader Joe's. If you haven't tried it, it is so good. It has so much flavor, but warning, it is really spicy. I'm so sensitive to spices. I can only eat a little bit of this, and I hate it because it is so delicious. But anyways, and then once your quesadillas are ready, I'm cutting them in half and kind of just, making them pretty on my plate. And then I'm going to throw some chips and salsa on there, and this is dinner. I honestly could not believe how good this was. I don't know what I was expecting, but I figured it sounded good, and it was part of the meal plan that I was following from this blog, as I told you, and I highly, highly recommend this one. And now I'm making some, I think it was called BBQ Beef and Beans or something. Like I said, I'll have it linked down below. But first I'm starting by cooking my rice in my Instant Pot, which I normally do. 2 cups rice, 2 cups water, some salt, oil, and then I pressure cook it for 5 minutes and let it naturally release for 10. Use a fork, fluff it up, and it's perfect every time. And then to my skillet, I'm going to put some olive oil and minced garlic and let that get a little bit cooked up without burning it. And then I'm throwing in my hamburger meat and gonna get that all nice and cooked. And while that is getting browned, I'm going to drain my kidney beans and black beans. And once you're done rinsing your beans and your meat is all, not pink anymore, you're gonna pour the beans in with the beef. And I'm kind of just pouring, just stirring it around a little bit. And then you're gonna pour in everything else that's on the recipe. You'll see everything else that makes up like the barbecue sauce. And this was our least favorite of the week, but that does not mean that it was not good. So take that as you wish. I wouldn't necessarily make it again, but we ate it all. You know what I'm talking about. And I guess I should have said you kind of stir everything up and let it simmer for about 10 minutes or so. And I put some rice on my plate, poured a little bit of this barbecue mixture. My husband kept calling it chili, and I think that's what was messing him up about it. And I don't know, it was just a little bit confusing. But I topped it with some cheese and some fresh green onions, and this was dinner. Now I'm going to make, lastly, I'm going to make this bomb pasta, because this has very few ingredients. You will see not very many at all, and it was so good. So I'm starting by dicing up one onion, and however much bacon, I don't know. I find it easier to just cut the bacon with scissors. If you've ever tried to chop up bacon with a knife, it's just, personally, I find it annoying. So I'm just using scissors, and I'm going to cook this bacon up until it is really crispy. It didn't say how much to cook it, but I personally love crispy bacon, and I figured in a pasta, extra crispy would be preferred, and it was really good. I was right. So once the bacon was all cooked, you're going to just get all the bacon out onto a plate with a paper towel on it with a slotted spoon, and then you're going to pour out or get rid of whatever you do with your grease. Most of the bacon grease, you're going to keep some in there, because now you're going to toss in your onions, and then you're going to cook them to your desired, like I love caramelized onions, so mine cooked for quite a little bit. And then you're going to throw in your chicken broth, and then kind of stir it around, try to get all the brown bits off. And that pasta, you can use any small pasta. Don't ask me how to pronounce that, because I would completely butcher it, so I'm not even going to try and do that to it, because that stuff is amazing. But as you see here, I'm testing to see if the noodles are ready. And then you're going to throw in your spinach, and don't be like me here. It would have been much better if I would have chopped this up a lot smaller. I don't know what I was doing. Obviously, it's my first time here. And then you're going to throw in the bacon and Parmesan cheese, and that's it. See what I mean? Not very many ingredients, and this stuff was ridiculously good. And I don't know if it was just that pasta, because that stuff is, I don't know. And if you can get it from Trader Joe's, definitely do. So, and here it is. This was this is probably our first favorite, then the quesadillas. So I appreciate y'all watching, and I will see y'all in the next one.